turned on the TV. What a sorry sight. Left us out there hugging every terrorist in the night. And they scream from the river to the sea while rockets fly. Then cry when the bad guys make the good guys die. They'll defend every dictator from Tehran to Havana. Long as he hates America, he's their kind of man. Oh, it ain't right and left no more, it's right and wrong. The left keeps picking the bad guys every time they sing their song. They love the tyrants, the thugs and the crooks, while the rest of us are working and reading the good book. Blue states are broken, red states are rolling in dough, but they still scream tax the rich like it's some kind of show. They march with blow-up rats in rainbow capes, blue-haired Karens and beta males in their safe space parade. They glue themselves to the road for the climate today. Tomorrow they're blocking traffic for some new Marxist play. They'll cancel your job if you don't use the right word, but defend every groomer and pedophile they've ever heard. It ain't right and left no more, it's right and wrong. The left keeps backing the bad guys, singing the same old song. They cheer for the terrorists, the socialists, the crooks, while their cities burn down and they rewrite all the books. Blue states tax you till you're broke, red states let you keep your pay, but they still scream, eat the red, every single day. California's bankrupt, New York City's a mess, Chicago's on fire and they blame it on right-wing stress. They spend like drunk sailors on every dumb idea, while red states are thriving with low taxes and cold beer. They print more money than a counterfeit ring, then wonder why inflation's got the middle class on the brink. They say they're for the people, but they hate the working man. They love every tyrant with a 5-year plan. From Hamas to Maduro, from Beijing to Tehran, if he hates America, he's their kind of man. It ain't right and left no more, it's right. Dying red states are doing just fine, but they'll keep on spending till they run out of other people's dimes. Yeah, it ain't about left and right anymore, it's about right and dead wrong. Pass the beer, boys. We got work to do.
All right, everybody. I'm here. Half the computer isn't. Yeah, I'm here. Had a bad lightning storm here today. I think there might have been some intrusion in my studio here. I've got a monitor. My video card has lost an output, and so I'm literally doing this with one less screens tonight, and so it's my entire workflow is jacked, but that's okay because we're still going to do it. If it's not perfect, it is what it is. All right, so this is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. My name's Ian, and we are broadcasting live worldwide on YouTube on the channel StarShip Adventures, and our sister channel, Starship After Dark, our main website, www.starshipadventures.net, and I do want to welcome everybody into the show tonight. I've had a weird day today. I've been grumpy and kind of weird today, and I just don't know why. I was on the way home, and some asshole pissed me off on the road. I hate when two cars are right next to each other, and they're doing like 3 under the posted speed limit, and I want to do like 10 over the posted speed limit, and there's a line of cars, and they won't move, and everybody's honking the horn and flashing the lights. We should be able to put those fuckers in the wall and beat their ass. But they frown upon that in law enforcement. So for now, we just have to drive behind them, flash our lights, and give the universal sign for get out of the way, and deal with it, unfortunately. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the things I'm a little aggravated about tonight, and I don't want to start with all this because I'm not in that bad a mood, but one of the things that's aggravated me, I put out last night, if you guys remember, I told a story. And I told a story about how I lost my faith at one point in my life and how I got it back and how I feel today about it. And I had some people send me messages after the show that segment was amazing. It was from the heart. It was genuine. It was raw, and they liked it. And they suggested that I make a video out of it, which I need to start doing more of anyway. So I put a video together today of it. I also have the story in written format, which I took. This was fun. I took AI, right? My favorite thing in the world. It's doing everything but sexual favors at this point for me. I absolutely love it. What I did was I took the 12-minute segment of me talking about that situation, and I made over here about a month ago a transcription generator, and I stuck it in that, and it transcribed everything I said. Then I took that and stuck it in Grok, and I told Grok to novelize it professionally, but yet written like in a novel. And it did, and that's in the description of the video. You guys can see it. It's basically the written story of what happened that day. And I thought it was good. I'm not going to go back through it tonight. No sense in that. The video's there if you want to watch it. But what's aggravated me is I put that video up hours ago. I put that video up 10 hours ago, and it's trending lower than the last 10 videos I posted. Now, I'm not talking lives. I do good on lives. I get anywhere from 500 to 1,000 views on my lives, sometimes 2,000. But my video uploads, which I haven't been doing as much of, it don't get that many hits. Now, I put a short up, it goes right to 500 and stops. Sometimes it goes to 1,000 and stops, and that's it. That's all I ever get on that short. That's why I kind of quit doing shorts. So I put up this video. I put up my Trump and all commercials. There's like 3 different ones. I put up a bunch of different ones a while back, and they're just not getting. They get like 100 hits. How can something be sitting out there for 3 months? That's funny as some of that Trump and all stuff is. I know if that Trump and all ad was put on one of these big conservative websites, that it would be a hit. It would spread like a blaze, like wildfire. The problem is I just don't have the reach. I still feel somewhat shadow banned. I know that YouTube's very left-leaning and left-wing, and it's very common knowledge that they stifle right-wing channels like mine. And so I know that probably has something to do with it. Look, it's taken me 5 years to get 27,000 subscribers. 5 years. And you guys see I put the effort in. Now, I wasn't doing it every night the whole time. Matter of fact, there was a couple years there I was hitting it about once a week. But no matter what I do, I seem to have hit another glass ceiling here at 27,000 subs. And now when I'm putting out edited videos, 27,000 subscribers, 100 people viewed it. 100 people. So I know there's some kind of shadow banning going on, or some kind of trick where, you know, I'm a conservative website. I'm different than the values of YouTube and Google. I get that. I understand that. I knew that going in. But I'm starting to get concerned after putting this video in, and I feel that it's good content. It's only 10 or 11 minutes long. After I got it all cut down, it's like 10 minutes long. I cut out all the extra bullshit that doesn't matter. I cut out some responses to people in the chat about things that were not related. And it's a nice compact 10-minute video, and I can't get anybody to watch it. I don't know. I even put a thumbnail that shows the scene. I got AI. It's a whole paragraph that I wrote to explain to AI how to make the picture from that day, because it's that important to me. When I post something, I want it to be good. I want people to see it and look at it and say, oh wow, I got to see what that is, you know, and that takes a good thumbnail. So I actually took the time this morning to go and make a thumbnail so that I would be able to I'd be able to exactly, you know, create that so that when you go in there, you would see kind of the scene. You would see kind of what it looked like, basically. And so I wrote, show a badly wrecked mid-sized car from 1995 with a tag on the front that says, Jesus is my co-pilot. The extreme damage is focused on the right center passenger door of the car. The vehicle is in the mud, in the muddy ditch, and there is mud all over. There is a firefighter pictured with gloved hands laying in the mud, holding onto the bumper so he can stand up. And he is looking at the tag that says, Jesus is my co-pilot. There are several other firefighters also sliding in the mud. All are very sad. There is a large black bag also in the mud between the firefighters. The firefighters have all fallen down in the mud while carrying the heavy bag in front of the car. It is raining and it's sunset. Add more debris and other wrecked cars from 1990 in the background with a dog standing there watching. Now, I know that seems crazy. I dictated that in. I did it verbally. And I clicked go. And in one shot, it created the picture for me. I was actually, when I can hit it on the first one, that's me, man. I don't mean to sound egotistical here, but I'm trying to learn AI. I want to learn it. I want to master it. And so I make a prompt like that, and I stick it in there, and guess what? It worked. It worked on the very first time, which I like. I think that's important. I'm going to see if I can put this up for you guys. Like I said, guys, I'm having a bit of an issue here with, oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, that's the one I used. Okay, let me see how I can show this. Hold on. Okay, so I just want to show you. I thought I was so impressed with this once I got it done, because it shows everything I want to show. Take a look at this. This is my thumb there. There's me 20 years ago. I uploaded a picture of me. I would have probably been wearing my glasses. I usually wear them to drive and to work outside, and there I am. I see that sign on the front of the car, and it upsets me. and we had just dropped this kid in the mud and fell in the mud on top of him. And so I typed or I said into the computer what I read to you just a minute ago, and it made this picture. I mean, it made like the perfect picture. And then so I experimented with it for a while, and I tried to get it to make some more. And where are we at? Oh my God. Oh, this thing's just bouncing all over the place. That's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Oh, anyway. The point is you can really do cool stuff with AI. You just have to learn how to talk to it. That's probably the most important thing. Everybody says, what's the most important thing with AI? It's your prompt. It does nothing without your prompt. Your prompt has to be really good. But it just has to be comprehensive. It just has to cover all the bases. And yeah, so if you guys get a chance after the show, I don't think I'm going very late tonight. I'm really kind of I hate to say this out loud, but I'm just not in the mood tonight. I just don't. I'm kind of grumpy tonight, so I'm probably just going to do an hour and a half or 2 hours. But when I'm done tonight, I'll try to remind you at the end. Just go watch that video, or just leave it on and walk away. I don't care. But I need to get some minutes on that video, and I need to get some thumbs up on there, and maybe we can get it up into the algorithm. It's below the algorithm. There's like a gray thing that follows it up, and that shows me where my normal algorithms are, and I'm running way below it right now. Well, Yanni, there you go. I'm using it for everything. I've created thumbnail generators, image generators, very comprehensive thumbnail generators, like the ones that make the ones for my show with the 9 different screens with all the different things going on. I made an AI that will allow me to type a description or upload a picture for each of the 9 squares. Then I pick the grid color, I put the title of the show, and then from there, I'm all set to go. I hit go, and it makes me the whole grid. It makes the whole grid with all the little screens. But I cheated tonight because I ran out of time. I got here, the screen wasn't working. I have an automake button, and what it does, it takes 9 of the top headlines and it makes them into squares. Is that crazy or what? So I literally have an automatic button on the thing. And I made it myself. I made another image generator that will make images in like 10 different things. If you guys are interested, let's take a few minutes. We can talk about this. There's not a lot going on. I am monitoring the weather, and we do have storm chasers out, and you guys can see that. However, currently no tornado warnings right now, I don't believe. Let me double check. Nope, no tornado warnings. But I'm going to leave that up there so you guys can see it. Well, I'm going to cover it for a few minutes here. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. We can keep an ear on it. I've got it turned down about halfway so it's not too loud. And we can listen to see if there's any tornado warnings that come in. Okay, so let me see how I'm going to do this. The problem is the screen I use for all of my capturing and stuff is now the screen I'm using for my studio. Okay, so let's see. Is this gonna do left screen? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is what my generator looks like. I'm gonna give you guys the 20-minute crash course. Here it comes. This is Google AI Studio. Don't be afraid of it. After we discuss this, I'm going to discuss the hate for AI farms and why it's bullshit. We're going to get to that in just a little while, and then we'll check the weather, the news, space weather, and all that coming up here in just a little while. All right, first thing we're going to talk about. I made the thumbnail generator for this show. And to give you an example of what that looks like, right over my image here, there, I'm covering it up with tonight's thumbnail. That thumbnail was auto-generated from the top 9 headlines, which I think's pretty cool. I don't normally use the auto-generator, but I used it today because I was running out of time. Mama, you're making me screw up here. Okay, so this, what you're looking at here, what's in gray around the outside, that's the actual program, the AI program that builds the programs. So anything in the gray is kind of the control program. Anything in the black in the middle is the program that I'm building, okay? So you understand. Once I'm done building this, I can export it and make it into a standalone program, which I've already done for a few of these. Now, I just haven't quite perfected them yet, so I've left them in the editor. Now, on this one, I make a thumbnail every day for the show. You can see here, you can write in what you want, or you can click this button and you can upload what you want. So however you want to do it, or you can let it auto-generate. There's 3 ways to make it. And each of the 9 squares, you can upload something or you can put the words. Now, on a separate, I've got a Google Doc, and it's called AI Prompts. On that Google Doc, I have the prompts for this program. One of them, for instance, each of these prompts talks about a certain kind of event or whatever that's going on. Like I'm gonna show you here. I'm not gonna show you. I'm just gonna tell you. So I've got this document over here, and it's 100 pages long because I got everything on it. But I know right where to go. Right here, I've got protests, civil unrest. Protest, white female protesters with people in inflatable dinosaur costumes with signs that say, "Help me, I'm psychotic." There's smoke in the air and police cars with lights on. That's a prompt. I can paste that in any of those 9 squares. Boom. It makes a beautiful picture for me. The next one, a chopper flying over a large crowd that is protesting. The next one, a visual of a protest with all white female protesters with signs that say, "Help me, I'm psychotic." Let's see, I got a couple of good ones here. A visual of a protest with all white female protesters with signs that say, "I hate law enforcement. All the protesters have blue hair." The next one says, smoke in the air and police cars with lights on. Protesters wearing dinosaur, giraffe, dog, horse, and frog inflatable costumes. So I save all this, and I've got them categorized. The next one, war in the Middle East. A meteor shower over the Middle Eastern city in twilight. It doesn't like to make war scenes, so you make something that looks like a war scene. A meteor shower, okay? And that shows bombs landing on a town in, a Middle East. Weather, a violent thunderstorm with tornado, lightning, wind, and rain. The next line, storm chaser vehicles chasing a violent tornado with lightning, wind, and rain. It's just saved. They're all in. The next one, space, an angry sunspot on the sun, a visual of the earth and moon from space. The next one says patriotic, the White House at sunset. The White House at night, Donald Trump and the Constitution all faded together. That's all it is. And I copy and paste these into the squares and I click go. If Fox News has a picture of whatever it is, I save the picture and I put the pictures in. So sometimes it's mostly pictures, sometimes it's mostly text. But you can't tell the difference. So I've got all these different ones. I've even got ones for earthquakes and different things. I've got all kinds of different prompts here for different kinds of pictures that you might want to make. And then I go down to the bottom here. I've got the stuff I'm working on currently. And so if I remember, I made pictures with whatever. I can search this 100-page document and find the prompts that I was using to make those pictures. The prompts are what's important. I pay Google for the use of their API. I do. As a matter of fact, that opener you saw cost me about 80 bucks. I'm not going to lie. It was about 80 bucks worth of, I did about 12 renderings that were between 10 and 25 seconds long. And that cost me 60 or 80 bucks. Yeah. No biggie. I mean, it is what it is. Look what it would have cost me to make those shots otherwise. I couldn't have. It never would have happened. Yeah, I use Google AI Studio, and I create a paid account through them, and then I set a limit of $100 or whatever, and then they bill me once a month, and I have it auto come out of my check, out of my credit card. So that's how that one. That's this one. Now, what else do I have in here? Well, let's go back. Let's take a look. This is it. Build your ideas with Gemini. This is what it looks like when you first go in to Gemini. Okay? And that's the Google AI Studio. Now, I go over here. Look, these are my apps. Look at all the apps I've built already. Holy crap. Yeah, I've been busy. Look at this. Oh my God. Yeah, I've been building a lot of apps. This one here is the Automaker thumbnail generator that I just showed you. This one is the image generator. What's great about this one is I designed this one so that, look at this, I can choose where I'm putting it. YouTube, blog photo, LinkedIn, 4K square, YouTube banner, Foursquare. That's for like if I want 4 different pictures each time to choose from. It renders 4 different pictures. This is a 4K thumbnail. That's a big high definition. Instagram, Facebook, and blog. And all the sizes are there. So whatever I need, I can turn all of these on and click go, and it will make me one for every single one. Mama? What are you doing? What are you doing? Making all kinds of racket. Well, the great thing about this is the learning curve's pretty straightforward on it. It kind of, you just talk to it like a human and tell it what you want to make. I was trying to get it to make a log converter for ham radio, and finally I went to Grok and I said, Grok, what am I doing wrong with Google AI Studio? Every time I tell it what I want to do, I said it comes back and it doesn't work, and it's confused. It says it's because you're overthinking it. It said just tell Google AI Studio exactly what result you're looking for. Don't tell it how to make the wheel. Just tell it how it rolls. Okay. 3 sentences. 3 sentences. And one little example. And I hit go. It made the program. It worked the first time. It's incredible. This thing has got the intelligence of the world in it. So it's not, you have to talk to it like a 4-year-old, but understand it's like the smartest 4-year-old you're ever going to meet. So it's kind of weird. It's got like, in a way, it's adolescent, but in a way, it's a lot smarter than you'll ever be. So it's kind of a weird dichotomy there that you have to kind of get used to. All right, so the next one I'm going to show you guys, we're going to go back to my apps. There's my Chiron Studio. This is the one that makes the Chiron that's on the bottom of your screen right now that you see crawling by. Look at this. This is how it works. Now, on this one here, over here, I can type as many headlines as I want. See that? I can type things like, we're not going to be on tomorrow night, or whatever I want to type. Okay? We are, but Anyway, over here, RSS sources. Look at this. Every one of these, those are all those RSS sources. That's what you're reading. When it says Fox Science, there's an RSS feed for Fox Science. There's an RSS feed for Fox News. There's an RSS feed for the seismic reports, whatever. And so that's how you do it. It's all set up. I force the reload. I open the ticker, and then I capture it on OBS. Here's all the settings down here. Scroll speed. This is the divider message, the separator message between. I made this, and it works great. Okay, you guys told me about this. I started making it in the show. I had it working the following morning. All right, so that's the ticker maker, as I call it. Let's look at what else we got here. Here's the clock program. Remember this? You guys are looking at the top of the screen there. There's the clock, right? This is the AI that I wrote to make that clock. There it is. And it just creates the clock. There's no fancy software or nothing. It just makes the clock. And there it is. And then I capture that and I put it in on the OBS studio. That clock, by the way, I can go in there and set whatever time zones I want to show or not show, and then which town I want representing for that time zone. So that makes it completely versatile. So if we suddenly have a problem in China, in West China, let's say, that we're covering and we got video up and everything, I can actually add that so that the clock will show the time in that zone as well. Yanni, I don't deal with the code. That's the point. I never see the code. I don't care about the code. I make the thing, I mix it down, I use it. That's what's great about this, is you can be a programmer without knowing the first thing about programming. You just have to understand and be smart about what you're asking it to do. But I don't use code. I mean, there's code, obviously, the program code that makes it work, but I don't deal with it. I don't know. Yeah, I won't show my API key on here, and if I do, I'll change it. But okay, so there we go. The next one we have here, this is one I made for work that I used, like I said earlier today on that video that I made earlier. You put an audio file in here, like a WAV or an MP3, and hit go. That's all you have to do, and it transcribes everything for you. And it says like person 1 and what they said, person 2 and what they said. It's pretty cool. This is one I built. I told it, make me a program that will transcribe an audio file and will show the speakers and who's speaking. It did it. It made it, and I've been using this. And so now when we get a show where there was a lot going on, or there was something that possibly happened, I can take that show. Well, thank you very much, 318 Sports Scope. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. Everything counts. Everything helps. And all the money I make on supers and on ads, those ads you guys have to watch and all that, everything I make goes back into the studio. I make enough money at work to cover all of my expenses, so everything I make here goes back into cameras, computers, video cards, and things that benefit the broadcast. And of course, now I got a video card on the GIMP, and I can't afford another video card right now. Have you seen what those things are running? Oh my God. And that's because of AI. All right, here it is. This is my StarShip Adventures transcriber. And basically, all you do is you drag and drop your file in here, you press go, and it makes you a transcription. And you can make this yourself right now. You do have to go get an API key. But that's how that works. And notice over here, this is how I tell it to change things. Like if I wanted to make a white background, or I wanted to move the boxes around, or I wanted to change the behavior of the program, I would just simply go down here in this box, and I would just type, hey, regenerate the program. This time, put a white background. This time, use the verbiage that says this and do this and do this, and it will do it. It remakes the program as many times as you want it to. And then once you get it working, you can export it as a usable link. That's my transcriber. What else do we got here? This is the one I use to make the videos. Now, how did I get a video generator that does things that most video generators won't do? I told it to not have any restrictions. Yeah. I told it I want to eliminate all restrictions. Now, you can't really eliminate all restrictions. There's certain things, like if it's really gory, really bloody, or if it involves a photograph of genitals. You know, if it's a nude man standing there, it's not going to make that. It's going to kick that back. But you can put a man wearing skimpy shorts and it'll make that because there's no genitals. But other than an actual genital nudity restriction and a restriction on absolute gory, horrible, nasty killings and things like that, there really is no restrictions on this. It'll make it'll make these people doing whatever, and it works great. What's funny is sometimes it'll give you a celebrity error. Like if I tell it, make me a picture of Bill Shatner in his Star Trek uniform in the captain's chair, it'll kick that back. It might kick that back. It's going to say celebrity presence violation. So, but I can upload my picture and put me in the captain's chair wearing the captain's shirt, and that's perfectly fine. That's how I make all these pictures. I have images of me, and I upload the image. You can put the little, there's a reference photo right here, and I click that, and I put whatever my reference photo is. Now, a lot of times, like I'll use that van that you guys see in all the videos and stuff. AI generated that image of that van exactly like I wanted it, and then I used that AI generated image to be remade into all the AI things that I do. So it's really, really cool. That one will cost you some money. The video one. Be cautious. Set a $100 limit just in case. Here's the meta generator. Let's see. Okay, I showed you that one. This one here is a meta tag generator. What I do with this, I pull this up pre-show, and it's sitting there. And as I'm doing my show prep, and I'm pulling up my articles, and I'm putting the tabs in place in the order that I want to cover everything, then I take my top 5 stories, or 6 or 7, and I copy the headline and the tagline, and I bring them over, and I paste them into this. And once I paste 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 headlines in there, I hit go. Here it is. I put my headlines over here. All right, and so I want to simulate this just to show you what it looks like here. So give me 1 second. We're gonna go ahead and oh, there's Kami Memdami. Getting to where I really dislike that asshole. He's becoming the face of the people that are taking over our country. Trump had another legal win. Appeals court just green-lighted Trump's nationwide expedited removal policy in a 2-1 ruling. That's going to speed things up. That's kind of slowing us down lately. Do you believe AOC actually thinks that she's got a shot at president? Yeah, they're talking a national bill to carry guns, too. This is going to be awesome. Force these blue states into allowing you to carry your guns. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. All right, so there's we're just going to put in these headlines just to show you what this does. Now I hit generate meta tags, and this thing sits here, and in just a few minutes, it's going to generate everything I need for this video. if it was this show here. This makes the meta tags for the sights and sounds of Earth by just me putting in the headlines. So you can see how much time that would save me. I got one program that literally in a few clicks I can have my thumbnails made up in 2 different sizes, and then here we go. Look at that. It's right there. It's done. There's my title right there. There's my description. There's my keywords. There's my meta tags. Everything I need for YouTube is right there. I made this in AI Studio. It's easy. I told it, make me an AI generator, make me a meta tag generator that will make me a meta package for the video, the sights and sounds of Earth live, and use the headlines that are pasted in for all the information, and that's what you do, and that way all the keywords and all the hashtags and all the descriptors and all the title and everything matches the current events of today, because they were all created just then before the show with the meta tag generator that I made on AI Studio. All right, so there you go. That's the StarShip Adventures meta tag generator. I plan eventually, I've been stifled a little bit on this, but eventually I plan to have my own API server here. And I plan to make all these apps available to my members. Let's see, we've got... this OBS dashboard thing is something I'm working on. It's a work in progress. What I'm trying to do is get an AI to where I can update things within OBS automatically. It's not working too well. There's my blog post writer. I paste in 2 or 3 news articles. There's a spot there for me to put in my opinions, and then I hit go. And it makes my blog post. This case report zip summarizer, you can throw any case report in there, a UAP or a criminal case report, and it will actually, it bullet points it all out for you, and it gives you a summary of the case report, complete rundown. Site asset extractor, that's one I'm working on, that's going to go onto those UAP websites and just scrape everything off of them. I've been using that. It's kind of working. There's the POTA Hunter log generator. That's a log converter for ham radio. Commercial voice generator. With that, I can actually type stuff and it speaks it just like a voice. So I've got my own voice generator. And after that, it's pretty much all older stuff that I'm not using. But you guys can see, I use this a lot. I've made a lot of programs on it, and I use it a lot. And I'm telling you guys, I think it's amazing. I think it's absolutely wonderful. So there you go. Looks like some of our storm chasers have gone off. Let me deal with that. Some of these guys, the moment it gets dark, they pack up and go home. And I don't really blame them, because you don't see much once it's dark. But yeah, both these guys have shut their cameras off, I think. Yep. I don't like when they put tornadoes as like a save screen or whatever, because we're watching this on a grid. All of a sudden there's a tornado. You know something? 5 or 6 days with this tooth, I wasn't drinking any Mountain Dew. Now I can't get enough of the shit. Oh my God, I'm drinking it constantly. Yes, because comics and robots, you know what's important? You know what the most important thing in the world is? Your time. It's true. Your time is the most valuable thing you have. Whether you're sitting there watching bullshit YouTube videos, all right? Whether you're hanging out with your girlfriend and doing fun, exciting things, your time's important. And if you're going to do a YouTube channel, especially like I'm doing this, I'm doing all this myself. I have other people here, but they're not here. They're all working out of state, and they will be working out of state for a while. So I'm here by myself. And other people, we were all going to work on each other's channels and stuff, and that's all been put on hold. They're working out of state, making great money. And I'm here doing shows, but that puts me here by myself. The AI gives me a staff of 5 people. It's amazing. Pueblo, Colorado, huh? Yeah, Colorado's where all this mess is going on right here. Yeah, Pueblo, there we go. That one's going to miss you, man. Good luck, but that one's going to miss you. That one's good. There you are. That's Pablo right there. So this is going to move off east to you. So unless you're east as far as Fowler, if you're west of Fowler, you're fine. This is all going to pass off way out past Boone. So I think you'll be all right. Now, and there's nothing really behind it, so you might be okay on this one. These are severe thunderstorm warnings. They are severe thunderstorm warned. However, the Pueblo area is not in the warning. All right, we do have a tornado warning that just dropped. This is for Spring Hill and Cullen, and that's going to be just inside Louisiana, the northwest corner of Louisiana. We've got a tornado warning just issued. This one's going to go right through Cullen proper. So let's take a look at this thing. Let's get it on the local radar so we can see more. Wow, look at that. Okay, so we got a hook. We got a couple of things there that could be a hook. So if you want to see if we're right, what you can do, we kind of got a hook there, and we kind of got a hook there. Oh, that was a terrible one, but okay, a hook there. So let's take a look now at this. Boom, there you go. You can see there is actually 2 rotation centers in there. See that? It's neat how one radar and the other radar, looking at 2 totally different things, can both confirm the tornado. It's pretty cool. This, not a lot of rotation, but that is probably a couplet there, but not a very good one. Let's hope that this stays weak. Again, this is north of Shreveport, Louisiana. It is moving east across. It's moving east right inside the state line in Louisiana. And Plain Dealing just dealt with it a little while ago. And it's now coming into Spring Hill and Cullen. And if things go as planned here, it should pass off just north of Haydensville as it's leaving Louisiana. Thank you, Lambert. I appreciate it. You guys hit that like button. It makes a big difference. Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight, and we're going to keep watching our storm chasers. I think I got the only one that's broadcasting right now. Let me look. Is Freddie back up? Ah, Freddie's back up. There we go.
There we go, you guys.
All right. And there's Brandon. Their area up there, not real active right now. Each of them had their little supercell they were watching. Is Adam back up? No, Adam's not on. All right, so they each have these little dinky ass. This ain't going to amount to shit. And that area is not severe thunderstorm warned or watched. So I think this is dead down here. But when you're in Colorado and the action is in Wisconsin, you get a hotel room because you're never going to catch up to it. All right, so this is the other mess we have up here. And again, no warnings right now on that one either. Now down here, This one down here at Louisiana, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch going on, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, and that tornado warning that we talked about as well. Tornado about to go through Spring Hill and Cullen. Let's go back to the other radar here. There we go. Let's see if I can get a second opinion. Oh, this one's pretty far away. Yeah, there's rotation. Remember we talked about it. There's 2 different spots there for rotation. Here's another one. Yeah, the problem is there just ain't that many radar sites. There's a lot of winds moving in all different directions in there. All right, yeah. What I wanted to talk briefly tonight. We covered this extensively on our show tonight because it's something that's affecting us here, and that's data centers, AI data centers. And I'm going to give you guys my opinion on it. I think it's important that we consider this and consider both sides of this. The problem we have as humans, when we decide we don't like something, our brain then begins to create warfare against that thing that we don't like. And when you don't like somebody, everything they do is annoying. If you don't like somebody, everything they say is ignorant. And that is a bias that we have. It's the way it is. Well, the same thing happens when it comes to things like AI data centers. It's funny because the people that don't want AI data centers near their home or near their town are the same people that will tell you they're scared of AI and they don't know what to do with it and they're not going to touch it and they're afraid of it. It's a direct correlation. So most people don't want the AI data centers because of several reasons. Number one, because of bullshit they were told that was not true. Number two, because they're not smart enough to grasp it. Okay? Number three, they can't see the good and the bad and weigh the two against each other. Okay? Or number four, and this is the big one, they have an AI phobia. And since this is an AI data center going in, that automatically makes it evil. It's like a transformer. It's going to rise up out of the swamp and it's going to attack neighborhoods. Yeah, they're afraid of it. And so they make up things like, it's going to use up all our water. It's going to use up all our electricity. Oh my God, well, let me put your mind at ease, okay? Number one, you're probably not going to get one in your neighborhood. There's going to be a lot of them. But there's a lot of open space to put these things in. Okay? Number two, not everything about them is bad. I bet you I'm going to tell you a few things tonight that's good about AI data centers, and maybe you haven't even considered it. So what are the bads? Well, the ones they're building now use a lot of water. They could suck it up out of the ground. People are worried about water tables dropping. Okay, earnest concern. And I'm not going to try to dispel that. That's an earnest concern. We have to make sure when they move in that there's enough water. But here's another fact. The AI data centers are using less and less water all the time. What do they use water for? Well, they use it for cooling. And most of what's used for cooling is lost to the atmosphere. So if you're sucking it out of the ground, using it for cooling, and it's lost to the atmosphere, then technically you're lowering the water table. I can't argue with that. However, they're coming out with all kinds of new methods, okay? There's old methods that can be deployed, like cooling with chillers and anhydrous ammonia. There's systems that can be built that are safe enough that they can work, that will cool these data centers. There's all kinds of ways to do it. It doesn't have to be this one particular thing that uses so much water. But see, that's something that people that don't like AI and want to convince you that it's a big, scary, bad monster are going to immediately it uses up all the water, we're all going to die. It uses up all the water. It won't be nothing to drink. I'll have a glass and no water in it. It'll suck. No, no, not so much. A lot of these new data centers are using a fraction of the water that the first generation of data centers are. They're using AI right now to figure out new ways to build AI centers that won't use any resources from the local city. What if I said we can build an AI data center 5 miles outside of your town? 5 miles. We're going to pay for the land. We're going to pay handsomely for the land. If you own a 10-acre farm and we buy your farm to build this data center, you'll be rich. We're going to take good care of you. We're going to buy your farm. We're going to build a data center. It's 5 miles from town. It's too far to hear it. It's too far to smell it because it don't really smell. All right? And it's so far away from town, it's way out there, okay? But it's still in the city limits. Think about this. What is the positives of having an AI data center in your neighborhood? What are the positives? Are there any positives? Yes, there's a bunch of them. It's going to be $1 billion building. And they're going to pay taxes. They're going to pay your county's property taxes. They don't get a homestead exemption. Your town just doubled its tax base. Doubled its tax base. You can now build those sidewalks you wanted. You can now build the town you want, the infrastructure you want. You can buy that ladder truck that you wanted. You can buy those police cars you needed. And what's another positive about a data center? It uses very little resources. The entire building is protected by a HALON 1301 system, meaning that fire is improbable. Fire is improbable. You're more likely to get a hazmat situation from the ammonia or something. Fire is just not going to happen. There's nothing in there that burns. And what does burn is covered by a HALON 1301 system. Chlorotrifluoromethane. And that shit puts it out quick. Okay? So they're going to use very little fire resources. They've only got 20 guys working there, so how many times are they going to call an ambulance a year? None. And the people there get along, they don't fight. We never call the cops. So basically, you've got a building in your district that's doubling your tax base, and not using up shit for resources. We're back to electricity and water. There's no reason why you wouldn't want this, except noise, electricity, water. Those are the three complaints I keep hearing. So let's address those one at a time. Noise, you put it far enough away. 2 miles, some trees, no problem. The noise is just a humming noise from everything running, okay? It'd probably put me right to sleep like a baby. I'd like it. I'd curl up next to that shit and go to sleep. I like anything that hums. In my room, I got a fan on each corner of the room. It sounds like a B-52 bomber in there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, that's how I like it. And I got on sleep music, okay, on top of that. So when I look at this, I'm like, I want one. I want one here. But we have to get past the water, the electric, and the noise. So noise, let's put that aside. We can build it places where it won't be noisy. Okay? So the electricity, make your own. Make your own. In fact, some of these places have gone in and they put in their own power plant. They create their own electricity, and during peak usage, they sell some back to the power grid. It's a net positive for the community. It's a net positive for the community. It generates all of its own electricity and then some. So now we're down to water. Okay, it uses some water. Each one that comes out is using less and less water. So if I could get that down to where we're not using copious amounts of water, Now what's your problem? They're talking next year building these things not needing any of that water. There's different refrigeration systems out there. So if they build their own electric, they build it far enough away from town that you can't hear it, and they tell you they're going to use an anhydrous ammonia system that does not use copious amounts of water, hardly any water at all, plus everything else I've told you, plus the tax benefit, plus the fact that it's they won't use any of your resources. What other excuse could you have at this point to not put a data center in your town? I want one in my town. I want one in my town. We've got lots of land out here that's not being used. A lot of these are putting solar panels on the roof. They got a little power plant on site that runs on gas or whatever. When I say gas, like LP, propane, or liquid petroleum, whatever. And they run that when they need to at night, and then during the day, they cool with their panels. And it's a hell of a thing, and it can live in your town, and you'll never even know it's there until the tax bill comes in, and that building pays your town $6 million a year to sit there. It doubles the tax base of your little town or your county. I mean, think about this. You get taxed on that every year. So why would people not want to do this? It's because they're scared of it. It has nothing to do with logic. It has nothing to do with reason. It has nothing to do with convenience. It has nothing to do with anything other than they're afraid of it. They don't like AI. They're afraid of it. They've watched iRobot. They've watched Terminator. They've watched Matrix. They understand the timeline. And they're scared to death. Thank you, Hollywood. Although they're probably right in the long run. But for right now, this is an amazing thing. And getting in the way of it, let me tell you what it's going to do. You get in the way of this. You stifle this. You slow it down. You don't build one in your town, and they don't build one in their town, and they don't build one in their town either. Next thing you know, there's nowhere that'll let us build one of these damn things because everybody's scared of it, okay? Now we can't build them. What's China doing right now? They're building AI data centers as fast as their little fingers can build them. These guys are good, they're fast, they're smart, and they're building these places quickly. Quickly. They're outpacing us in building robots. They're outpacing us in building AI data centers, and I don't want to live in a world where we're trying to catch up to China on something this dangerous and this important. We must push ahead. We must even make sacrifices so that we can stay ahead of the AI curve. Any stifling of our AI advancement in this country is anti-American, and it's dangerous. The term for tonight is balls to the wall. And anybody that's ever been in law enforcement or fire or whatever knows that that means to drive your car as fast as you can. Balls to the wall. That's how we got to build AI. That's how we got to build robots. That's how we got to build chips. They're building all the chips. We're not building the chips. They're building all the AI data centers. We're falling behind there too. And they're building robots at 5 times the rates we are right now. We're effed like Chuck. Okay? We have got to get on top of this. And all this penny ante chicken shit horse crap of people not wanting them in their towns. I don't want one in my town. I don't want no big ugly data center. What the hell, dude? All that money you're giving up. And you're pissing on the country at the same time. Yanni, if they're good and bad, I never once said in this whole discussion that they're all peaches and cream. Nothing's peaches and cream. That's why they charge taxes, because we have to be ready when you have your emergency. We have to build roads. We have to provide infrastructure. Yeah, but data centers will use less of your resources and pay you more money than any other form of building that you can put in your frickin' town. It's so important that we stay ahead of China. We have to stay ahead of China. We have to. And we've lost. We're already behind them. We're running. We're assholes and elbows, but they're out ahead of us. Why are they out ahead of us? Because if they want a data center, they knock your shit down and build one. They don't care. And they're knocking shit down and building them every day. They're breaking ground on a new data center every day. By the end of this year, they will have built 300,000 robots. They're going to double that next year. Those robots can be house servants. Those robots can dump your litter box. Those robots can carry a gun and fight wars. Ooh, a little bit of a twist there. That's another one we need to be in front of. Yeah, they're buying farmland here. They're buying up all of our debt in the world. They're slowly owning this place. And then we got the Middle Easterners coming in, Somalia, all these different places coming in here, even Haiti coming in here, creating centers of operation, taking over towns, changing laws, getting on voting boards. We're losing our very culture. And at the same time, we've got another country beating our ass on AI right now. Whooping our ass. We cannot let this go on. We have to build these data centers, and we've got to build them now. We're going to need some of these data centers to fight their data bullshit, the hacking and the back and forth and the spoofing and the shit. And we're going to need our AI to fight their AI. And we're always going to be number two fighting to be number one. I don't agree. I think the more tech we have, the better we are at. The better life. You're living a better life today than's ever been possible. AI and electronics themselves, I mean, everything from the ultra thin TVs that cost $70, little laptop computers, tablets, phones. We've got this amazing technology now. I love it. I embrace it. I'm not. The last thing I want to do is stifle anything about it. William, that's an amazing point, sir. Absolutely an amazing point. Yes. People would build a paper mill outside of town, and it would smell like an old cheesy fart in the town 3 days a week. Okay? And you know what a textile plant smells like? I mean, these things stink. Data plants put up no smell. There's no discernible odor. That's a good point, William. Oh, hog farms, chicken coops, they all stink. AI places don't have a particular odor. Yes, the same people that hate AI data centers are the same people that hated Al Gore's internet. They're the same people that hate cell phones. They're the same people that hated smartphones when they first came out. They're the same people that didn't like Commodore 64 or the Texas Instruments device. They're the same people that were just all against this home computing craze. And you know what? They've been wrong every time. Wrong. I agree with you to a degree there, Yanni. And yeah, the kids are a mess today. And yes, we're responsible for that. I blame the parents more than the technology. That might surprise some of you. Everybody's always quick to blame technology. Look what these computers have done to these children. Look what these smartphones have done to these children. I said, look what these freaking parents have done to these children. Look what these liberal parents have done to these children. Honey, do you want your titties chopped off? I mean, look at what these liberal parents are teaching their children. And you're trying to blame it on electronics? Shit. You're 30 minutes from Waverly Hills Sanitarium. You should stop by for a tune-up. No, I'm just kidding. That's pretty good. That's pretty close. You could. We were just talking about smell. You're almost close enough to smell the must. I bet you that place is a little ripe. I think, isn't that the one they're fixing up, though? They've gutted it and they're fixing it up or something. I'm trying to remember. There you go. Yeah, I thought that was the one you liked. But I thought they went through and they kind of gutted out the parts that were all mildewed and they were kind of fixing it up or something. Well, just like any addiction, it has to be managed. I agree with you, William, but that's what it's become. That's what it's become. Even Trey talks about on the show. He said, I was never going to be one of those parents. I was never going to be one of those parents. And he says, but you got a deadline. You're working on your stuff. Your daughters are going nuts. Your son wants your time. Everything's going on. You hand out tablets. You got to get your work done. And I mean, it is what it is. I understand that. I get that. You know, I do. But I also believe that there needs to be parent time. There needs to be dinner time at the table. There needs to be time away from the phone. That's the biggest problem, is not that they have the phones, not that they're using the phones, but that they're not taking breaks from the phones. That they're not, you know, people say, well, if I took my kids up to your cabin in the mountains where the cell phones don't hardly work, they would go nuts. Okay. Maybe that's what they need once a year. You know, I kind of like going up there and unplugging. I do. I go up there. It's hard to get a hold of my ass. I know, and you know, parenting is the most important thing you can ever do, and it's probably the one job in your life that you'll never receive any training for. It's not easy being a good parent, and a lot of times making the right decision is not the easy decision, and sometimes you have to do the thing that's the least kind to your kid, and it's difficult, and I get it. And rather than tell you how to fix it, I tell you that I don't know how to fix it. I don't have kids. I had no kids. I didn't want kids. I don't like kids. They all have a particular smell. They all make that same stupid sound. I can't stand kids. And I'm so glad I didn't have kids. You have no idea. People will come here. Don't you ever just feel like you've wasted away and you've never... No. I've never once woke up and said, damn, I wish I had a kid. I never wanted kids. When I was a kid, I didn't like kids. I hung out with the adults. I was 11 years old. I hung out with I hung out building houses with my dad and my uncle. I didn't go play with the other kids. Now, once Commodore built the first computer and I put it in my house, that was different. I found something new. I found a new love. There you go, Lambert. It works. I mean, I would hope that, try to get time with him, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. I get it. Let's see here. Um, and Carlotta, what did I tell you when we first became friends 16 years ago? What did I tell you? Never had them, never wanted to have them. It's kind of like gonorrhea. You don't want it, and you didn't want to ever have it. Um, yeah, I've never wanted kids. I told my mother early in life, I used to tell her, we'd joke around about it. I used to tell my mother, Mom, I'm not having kids. She'd be like, okay, honey, you don't have to have kids. Yeah, that's true, William. Never wanted kids. So glad I didn't have them. I'm glad somebody has them, though. I mean, we do need some of them, for like labor and stuff, but I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway, yeah. Believe it or not, I'm socially awkward. I do great on here, and I do better now that I'm older, but I still have to make myself go up and say hi to people. I still have to make myself be social. Now, once I break the ice, and then I'm all jokes and fun, and everybody's laughing. But I'm socially awkward. I am. I know I am. You know who else is socially awkward? Ron DeSantis, my governor. Great guy, great governor. He's socially awkward as hell. It happens. There's a lot of us out here. We make good lovers because we haven't gotten a lot, if you know what I mean. But yeah, socially awkward people. They're great. You should try one. Yep, thank God. Yeah, I wouldn't even live next door to Mormons with 12 kids. Are you kidding me? Mormons are fine, but 12 kids, forget about it. Um, they have great furniture. All right. Oh, Asperger's. There you go. Oh God, that was a messed up South Park episode. Oh my God. Anyway, we'll leave that there. Let's see here. All right, so to finish up my little discussion here, guys, AI data centers, we need them. Be a patriot and don't speak out against them because we need them here. They're building it right next to your house, bitch. That's good. But if they're building it down the street, let them build it. We need these things. And everybody's like, well, why don't they build them out in the desert, out in Utah, or build them out in Idaho, for Christ's sake? Well, they are. They're going to build some there, too. But remember, if they need water, they need to go where there is water. They're looking around here. Charlotte County is considering one right now. That's the county 6 miles north of me right here. And their biggest area to build it is right here near me. So I may end up with a state prison I got 10 miles away right now. And somewhere in that area out there, I'll probably end up with a data center. Good. Charlotte County could use the money. One of the oldest per capita counties in the country. Charlotte County. The average person there is like 58 years old. It's really cool, though, other than everybody drives slow. Hey, D-Beard, how's it going? Hey, Pickle Bird. How's everybody doing tonight? Guys, I put up a video today. If you guys could go watch it later and just let it run through. Just put it on and then go take a shit or something. It's 10 minutes long. I'm having a hard time getting the algorithms on it. I don't know why. It's falling way below average, way below algorithms. And I don't know why. It's that really serious segment I did last night about that accident that I worked. And did everything right, put all the keywords all in, did everything, made a great thumbnail, did the whole bit, posted it today, instant premiered it, the whole bit, put out links to it on all of my community posts and all of my social media and Discord and the community pages on both channels. And I think last I looked, it had like 100 views. I don't have good luck with these videos. I do pretty good with lives. We've already had almost 400 people in here tonight. I'm doing okay with lives, but for some reason, when I put up videos, they don't seem to get the exposure, and I don't know why. Matt, that's what I'm a little worried about, to be honest with you, is that, like you said, the Democrats, the Republicans, and the independents are all standing against these data centers. They did a poll. It's a 50-50 split. 50% say they don't care as long as it's not next to my house. The other 50% say moratorium. They do not want, they want a complete 50 states, coast to coast, moratorium on all new data centers. I don't think you guys realize in 6 months, a year, that will cause irrevocable damage that we will never be able to fix. Because China is already right now building twice as many as we are. Already. Yeah, D-Beard, I had no intentions of talking about that story. But once I did, and I got it out, and I did it without blubbering too much, I decided I was going to go ahead and post it for all time, and leave it on as a video, as a standalone video. And so you can still go see the whole show last night, as always, but I cut it out today and stuck it in as just a 10-minute video. You don't have a tag team with shorts, only lives. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know. I uploaded it as an instant premiere upload video. It's 10 minutes long. It's a monetized video. It's over 8 minutes, and I just uploaded it today. And you know, before, like 6 months ago, if I did that, it would shoot right up to 400 or 500, no problem. It just seems like I'm not getting that kind of response anymore. Yes, that is correct, Canna Club. We did cover that yesterday on the other show. I don't know if I mentioned it on here, but yes, the Juneteenth celebration weekend we just had last weekend. Chicago saw a wave of violence. I believe it was 7 dead, and they had over 40 people shot. And I'm going to say this, they don't say this anywhere else, but I'm going to say it, not because of any reason other than I want transparency and I want truth. It's black on black violence, guys. That doesn't mean that black people are bad, but it shows we have a problem we've got to work on here. I don't know what the solution is. I know what, though, giving free housing and giving food stamps and giving everything for free and then busting heads and locking everybody up, none of that's working. Giving away all the free shit's not working. Banging heads and locking them up's not working. Cashless bail and letting them all back out, that's not working either. It's not, none of it's working. They won't tell you what I'm about to tell you. All of that was black on black. All the deaths. The triggerman was a black man. Because it's gang violence. This isn't white guys stealing people's wallets. This isn't Hispanic guys shooting their wives. This is black gangsters shooting other black gangsters over fentanyl. That's what this is. Why do we cover it up? That's what it is. Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean black people are bad. It doesn't mean white people are good. It means we have a problem. It means that there's a sector of our community that we're having a problem with. Now, am I one of these lefties that think that, you know what we need is counselors? If we could just send in a bunch of counselors, they could go in and they could talk to all of these colored people that are like fighting and shooting all the time. That's not going to work either, liberals. I don't know what to do at this point. I think street sweeps are the way to go. I think we need to go in there with the federal government and just put them all in jail. Serve all the warrants, serve all the murders, solve all the murders, put them all in prison, build another prison, whatever you got to do, and then start over again and say, we're not going to tolerate this shit anymore. You guys start shooting up shit, we're going to shoot back. We're done with this. This has to be fixed. This is not an entire community shooting at each other. This is 10% or less of the black population, which is about 27% of the overall population. It's a very small percentage of people. I don't know what to do other than go in there and fix it. People said, look, DC's ruined. DC's ruined. You cannot walk from the Jefferson to the Lincoln without getting your shit rolled after dark. Okay? It ain't like that no more. Trump went in there, sent in people he needed to send in. He bolstered law enforcement. He sent in the FBI to solve all their murders. He sent in all these other people. He sent in the DEA and the FUS and the BUS and the LUR and he sent everybody in there, all the alphabet agencies, and they all went in there and they helped everybody out. And now look, you can walk across DC at 1 o'clock in the morning and you're not going to get rolled. They're going weeks without murders in DC right now. They were having murders every 6 hours. So you can fix this problem. You can fix this problem. It's not the white people. It's not the black people. It's not the Hispanic people. It's these effing gangsters. Okay? It's gangsters. And they have to be dealt with decisively. I don't know what else to do. If you guys have another solution, put it in. I say the truth on this channel now. I don't care. Because what I'm saying has nothing to do with 95% of the black folks. Okay? It doesn't. I like black folks. I get along great with black folks. I work with black folks. I've got friends that are black. Doesn't matter. We're not talking about race here. We're talking about statistics. Okay? And the statistics are that 90% of street shootings in Chicago, black on black gang crime. It's not mamas and their babies. It's not a black guy that just got off work at the 7-Eleven. It's criminals. It's career criminals. It's gangsters. And everybody's the fodder. Everybody gets shot. Bullets flying everywhere. Kids going through their bedroom windows. What are we doing? And what does the left do? We need more counselors and police cars. That's what we need. And we need to show these guys that when they get in trouble, we're going to cut them some slack. What? Barack Obama let out almost, it was like 10,000 felons, many of them murderers, rapists, drug dealers. Let them out on the street when he left office. Actually, he didn't do it. The Autopin did it. Whoever was running the Autopin that day. They just kept feeding these things in there as quick as they could. They ran that Autopin right up till the last minute. And they signed as many of those things as they could sign. And they let all these freaking creeps back out on the street. And now they're wondering why is the gang violence so high today? Why is the black on black death so bad this week? On Juneteenth. Because you don't keep them in jail. Cashless bail, non-convictions, null pros, all the different reasons that these cases don't go to trial and these people don't go to prison. That's why the crime is so bad. Call it what it is. It's gang crime. Uh-oh. Well, Yanni, good luck with that car. Check them battery terminals. Tap that solenoid. I don't even know if you could do that anymore. You used to have somebody twist the thing and you tap the solenoid. You get it to start one or two more times. Yeah, I do. I think there's racial profiling in law enforcement? I do still think it exists a little bit, but not that much. I think we're getting close on that one, but it does still exist a little bit. However, I do agree with you, Carlotta. You can't assign a white man to go work in the very black part of town and then 6 months later say, you've been pulling an inordinately high number of black people over. That's where I'm working, asshole. If you put me in Little China, guess what? I'm going to arrest a lot of Chinese people. I mean, okay. So I agree with you on that. They need to be careful how they calculate. Let's see here. Chicago's mayor's an idiot. Most blue county, blue city mayors are idiots. Yeah, I mean, this is as bad as that guy that came out in Canada. He was a constable, a chief constable, and he came out and he said, "Look, we're having a problem right now, with people confronting burglars." He said, "If someone comes in your home, just give them what they want, so they'll leave." I'm thinking, what? He says, yeah, they're just going to come in, they're going to take some money, they're going to leave. Just give them what they want. Let them have what they want, and they'll leave. I'm like, wow, that's not how you handle that. Do you know why the burglary rate in Lee County, Florida is so low? It ain't because the sheriff's great, I can tell you that. Although the department's pretty good. I mean, they do a lot of patrolling and a lot of work out here to keep us safe. And I'm just not much on the sheriff, but anyway, it's a personal reason. But they're out here every day. They're doing their job. They're trying to keep it. But let me tell you something. You know why the burglary rate's so low here? It's not because the cops are great. It's not because the sheriff's aggressive. It's not because the laws are written well. It's not because it's because of me and you. It's civilians. Someone comes in my house tonight, they're dead. They're dead. My goal is to see how much I can put in that person before they hit the ground. So that is why the burglary rate down here is at like 0.5%. We only get like We get very few burglaries in this area of the state because everybody owns a gun here. Everybody. All of my neighbors own guns. I have a plethora of guns. We have guns. Everybody has guns. And that's why there's no burglaries here. We had one not long ago. Guy broke into a house. Guy got smoked. That's how it works here, dude. Yeah. Yeah. You get capped. That's how it works. Matt, the problem is that alien, I'm convinced Lori Lightfoot is an alien from SETI Alpha 5, okay? But that being said, she was to the right of the guy they've got now. They went from a horrible, horrible socialist liberal to a commie. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse. That could be the movie trailer. In a world where it just can't get any worse. They hire somebody that's worse. Yes, gun ownership reduces crime. We have open constitutional carry here. We have concealed constitutional carry here. We also have gun licenses that you can get, which gives you even more rights and more places you can carry, and gives you reciprocity in a whole bunch of states. And now Trump's working on a nationwide gun license. Yay! I hope that gets all settled before I take off across the country in my van. Because I'm going to be cocked, locked, and ready to rock. I'm not a gun freak, guys. I'm not. I'm a former cop. I'm good with guns. But they're not my thing. You know, I take them out, I look at them, I put them back in the box. They're not really my thing. They're okay, they're cool, I like them. I have them for protection, though, not because I'm a gun collector. Yep. And of course, the biggest thing is ammunition. You don't need 50 guns. You need 3 or 4 guns, and you need a bunch of ammunition. That's the facts. I love when people say, look at this, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 shotguns, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rifles, and I got 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, where's your bullets? Oh, well, I got a little bit of 9 over here, and I got some 223 over here. Dude, what are you going to beat them with the butt of the gun? Is that what you're going to do when they come in your house? You only need 1 gun, you need 1,000 bullets. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's stupid. Just think about it. If you're buying guns, stop buying guns, start buying bullets for the guns that you already have. I believe that I believe in redemption. I do, and so did Jesus. I do believe in redemption. I don't believe in letting murderers out of jail like the Autopin did. But you were bringing 2 pounds of marijuana to your house so that you could bag it up and sell it to your friends, and you got popped one night, and now 40 years later you can't get a job because of this freaking felony arrest that's on your license. Yeah, we need to work with these people. We do. We need to have a path to redemption. What about murder and rape? F murder and rape. They can stay in jail the rest of their life. I'm talking about a pound of weed 25 years ago. Okay? Something that's freaking legal right now. And this guy's still walking around with a felony on his record for something that he can go into the store at the top of the street and buy. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I think felons in many cases, in very old or non-violent cases, I think that they should be a process, just like parole is a process. There should be a process. You go before a board. You say, look, hey, this was 22 years ago. I've been working as an air conditioner contractor. I got my mechanic's license. I'm doing really good. I've had 2 kids. I'm with the same lady. I've got the same house that I own. We'll take that felony off. I'm okay with that. Now, if they've had 3 more misdemeanor arrests after that, go away. But there is people that keep their life straight, that get clean, and that do good. And those people should have a road to redemption available to them. You do the crime, you do the time. I agree with that. But once you've served your 10 years and you've done your probation and now you're off of all of it for 5 additional years, you should be able to apply for not only to get the felony off, but I believe after so many years, you should be able to get expunged. You should be able to get expunged. And no, that's not something a good-looking nurse does in the hospital. You should get it taken out of your record so that it doesn't come up. Yes, you see, William, that's the thing. First of all, number one thing, victimless crimes. Victimless crimes. 2/3 of people in jail are in there for victimless crimes. It's ridiculous. Drug arrests, arrests for not paying taxes, arrests for not paying fines, arrests for not showing up in court for non-violent, non-felony things. There's a lot of things out there like that that are just such low level, You got people right now that got arrested for DUI and they never showed up for court. In 1989, they never showed up for court. And here it is 52 years later, and in some cases, those warrants are still out there. I think at some point we need to scratch. I do. There needs to be a cutoff point. What is it, 10 years, 15 years? And again, not talking about violent crimes, murders, rapes. I'm not talking about armed robberies of banks where people were shot. If you rolled 3 or 4 convenience stores with a pistol, I'm not interested in talking to you either. I'm only looking for people who should be on the road to redemption. Yeah, they were a victim because you didn't pay the taxes on what you were selling. That's the bottom line. Why do you think gambling's illegal? Why do you think gambling's illegal? If I invite 3 of you guys over and we sit in my living room around a card table and we play cards for dollar bills, quarters and dollars, they can raid my home and take all 4 of us to prison, to jail. And because it's my home and it's my event, mine's a felony. And why does the state have a lottery that has to have a disclaimer on it? Gambling is addictive. They can have a gamble. The Indians can have a gamble. Native Americans, whatever I'm supposed to call them now. They can have a gamble. They can have a big gambling casino. They run the gambling app. In Florida, if you're going to gamble on your phone, you have to go through the Seminole Indian tribe. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, okay? If I want to gamble my money, that's my God-given right. Get out of my pocket, get out of my bedroom, get out of my bullshit. The government has no right to regulate what I do with my money. If I want to say, hey, I bet $1,000 it's going to rain tomorrow, I should be able to do that. In some states, that's illegal, what I just said. Even here in Florida, football pools are technically illegal. What are we doing? Why would that be? Just hang on. Testing. Why would I do that? Why would they do that? Why would they make gambling in your own garage with your own cards and your own card table and your 3 friends and your own money? Why is that illegal? Because they don't get tax. They get their tax on your lottery, and they get your tax from the Seminole Indians. But if you have gambling in your garage, they don't get a tax from that. And that's why. So they make things a felony. They ruin the rest of your life. Because you didn't pay the king. You didn't pay the tax. Think about that. That's bullshit. Hey, Heath, what's up? Heath, if you have not seen the video I posted today, you should go back and watch it later. I think you'll like it. Yeah, no gambling in Utah. No gambling in most states. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that the state can gamble with the lottery, and the Indians can gamble, but you can't. You can't. Not even privately. Not even on your own property that you own. With friends that are your friends, with money that is yours. You are not allowed. It's a felony. It's a video. Do you remember I talked about that crash that I worked last night and how it affected my faith in God even? And I explained how I got my faith back and how it's stronger today than ever. Well, I made that into a video today, and I didn't know if you saw it last night live. I didn't think you were on when I went through all that. So I was just letting you know, if you didn't see that 12-minute segment last night, it's a 10-minute segment now, and it's available. I cut it down. I cut out me reacting to stuff in the chat room. And it's just me telling the story. Also, there's a written version of the story in the descriptor. You can read that if you want to. But I had, after last night's show, I had a couple people write me emails and tell me that was touching and that it was well done and that I should put it out in a standalone video. So I decided to do that. I think it's important for people to see what people go through. It's important to see that you can lose your faith and you can get it back. It's important to see that, you know, other people go through really bad things too. And, you know, I think it's also good for people to know what their first responders go through. Many people have no idea what their first responders go through every day. And no, it's not every day for every one of them. But every day, some first responder in this country has to do something really ugly. Has to go do something that's really smelly, that's really nasty, that's really heartbreaking. I've delivered 3 children, 3 babies. I hate it. It stinks. Yuck. Gooey. Yeah, gooey mess. Yeah. Luckily, 2 of the 3, as I'm delivering, the medics come walking in the door, and I'm like, here, catch! I'm out! I used to do things like, I'm sitting at my house, I'm bored. It's 9:30 at night. Call comes in. Fire department, childbirth. Engine 22. Way up off of 31 somewhere. I'm like, oh shit, I'm 5 minutes closer than they are. So I'd throw my jumpsuit and my boots on. I already had all my gear in my truck. I'd throw my jumpsuit and my boots on, grab my radio, jump in the car, truck, whatever I had, my Jeep. It was my Jeep for a while. I had a white Cherokee with all the red lights and a light bar on it. And I'd get in that thing, and I'd get on the road, and I'd do 100 miles an hour all the way up 31. And the whole time I'm driving, I'm like, what are you doing? You're going to get there 5 minutes before anybody else, and you're going to have to deal with this shit all by yourself. And I still would do it. You know. I never got into the fire service to be a medic. I never wanted to be a medic. I was offered free tuition through medic school. I didn't take it. I don't want to be a medic. I don't want to be a medic. There's a number of reasons. Number one, I don't like nasty. I don't like poop. I don't like pee. I don't like viscous fluids. I don't like any of that shit. So the farther I can stay away from it, the better. When I drove a squad, I'd go out in the squad. I'd help you get them loaded up, and then I'd go back and take a shower and go to bed. You have to drive with them all the way to the ER and then clean your ambulance out. No, I'm good. I don't want to be a medic. We have medics now on our engines down here. That's been something that's gone pretty well. About 10 or 15, 20 years ago even, they started putting paramedics on the fire engines. And now every Class A engine in the entire area has a paramedic on board. They got the blue star on one of the doors on each side. And when they pull up, they got everything. They got meds, they got defibrillators, they got everything. And they got like a life pack, whatever, and they can get out and they can do whatever. When I was a firefighter, we didn't have that. We were all EMTs. And we did have a semi-automatic external defibrillator, but we didn't push drugs. We did have oxygen. We could give oxygen. We could shock if someone needed shocks, like for VFib or whatever, or VTAC. We would also, or some other kind of dysrhythmia. There's, I think, 3 or 4 of them now that they'll shock on. But anyway, the point is we used to go and we would respond out and have to deal with this stuff, and I hated it. One night, it was a cold night. It was like, okay, it was like 38. It was like a blizzard in Florida, okay? And we're driving, the freaking heat's on in the engine, something we hardly ever used. And we're driving to this call. It was a lifting help. Possible personal injury. Not sure if they're going to need help to bed or help to the hospital. Not sure. So I got a full engine. I got me in the lieutenant's seat. I got an engineer driving. And then behind me, I got 4 rookies. And 2 of them were in EMT school at the time. And so we come pulling up. And I reached over to my engineer and I grabbed his arm. I said, just sit here. You don't need to move. He says, why? I said, just trust me. So he sits, we both sit there. The rookies jump out, all 4 of them jump out. They grab all the bags out of all the compartments. They go running up to the house. Next thing I know, they're all going in the door. I said, okay, we can go now. We get out, we go walking up there. I got my flashlight and my radio, and I just go walking, just tooling up there to see what's going on. And I stand outside the door and watch through the window as my guys are in there dealing with this guy on the toilet that is shit all over the place. He's shit everywhere. There's shit on the walls. There's shit on the floor. There's shit on the toilet. There's shit everywhere. There's even a vent on the floor blowing hot air up, and there's shit smeared across that. So I want you to know what that smells like. I could smell it through the glass, okay? And I'm standing there with my engineer, and he looks over at me. He goes, you're an effing genius. I said, yeah, I didn't start doing this yesterday. He said, I was going to jump out and run up here. I said, yeah, well, that's what we got rookies for. You kidding me? I don't clean up poop. So we stood out there. The medics get there. I open the door. The medics go in. I close the door because I don't want to smell it. A little while later, my guys come out. They're all like sick. They get in the truck. They're all back there with the alcohol, cleaning themselves up and shit. I said, so what did you guys learn tonight? And the one guy goes, I guess you're better off just sitting in the truck or something like that. And I said, look, you guys want to go, you're whippersnappers. You want to go on every call. You want to deal with everything. You want to be the first do and the first in and the first one. Good. Go ahead. You're going to do it. Yeah. The next call we get's not a good one. You got to deal with it yourself. Give us a like, guys. We're trying to do a little like thing tonight. We're trying to get a certain number. All kinds of crazy stories. One day, I was sitting at the fire station by myself. And we were a small department. If my partner called in sick, I worked by myself. And usually there was 2, 3, 4 volunteers hanging around. We had a lot of volunteers. We had 40 of them. And they would come stay at the station. And there was very routine to have a bunch of guys up there. This one particular day, I'm there all by myself. And I get a call for a medical call. I go. I handle it. No big deal. Possible heart attack. I get there. Oxygen, blood pressure, help the medics load up. No big deal, right? Rock and roll. I get done, I get in the squad, and I'm heading back to the station. It's weird riding in a fire truck by yourself. I'm riding back to the station, structure fire. Now, I got a squad, 250 gallons of water. I don't have an engine with 1,000 gallons of water. So I can go left to the fire where I'm 2 minutes away, or I can go right to the station where it's going to delay me by 5 minutes getting the engine started, getting it out, getting the squad shut down, and switching the trucks out. Plus, it's 2 minutes further away. I said, you know what? I'm going to put out another call for volunteers, and I'm going to run this squad as quick as I can to that scene. And that's what I did. I lit that bitch up, and that thing had a 454 big block board, 30 over, with a quadrajet carburetor on top that we had taken a drill to. This thing would go over 100 miles an hour. It was suicide, crazy nuts. I get that thing up to speed, and I'm running. I can see the smoke. And I'm calling, lead control, Base Shore 4. I'm pulling up on this thing, and I got smoke showing. I'm still about a mile away. Put my tones out again. I need my guys to respond. Send me an engine from the neighboring department. I pull up about a minute later. Base Shore 10, Squad 10, on scene. I've got a working structure fire. I got a fully involved kitchen. I'm going to try to put a hit on it. I pulled the truck up to about 30 feet from the house, pulled it sideways in the front yard, jumped out, set the PTO, jumped out, set the pump, the intake, the outgoing, and I pulled off the pre-connect. We had one pre-connect on this truck. I pulled off the 1.5 normally we have 1.75 pre-connects, but because it's a squad with a small tank, we just had an 1.5 on it. I pulled the 1.5 pre-connect off. I set my pump, and I go in there, and I snuffed the fire. I snuffed it. I went right in there, right to the base of the fire. I didn't shoot the smoke. I didn't do any of the things rookies do. I crawled in there about 5 feet, just far enough that I could still see the door, and I could fight the fire. And I laid on the floor, and I just started hitting the base of the fire, and I put it out. I put it out. The guys come pulling up 10 minutes later, and the fire's out. And they're like, I can't believe you responded to a structure fire in a squad, and you saved the house. Yeah, well, that was fun. That was cool. But lots of different ones. Yeah, I'll tell you guys sometime the story about how my back got screwed up so bad. It was an explosion. But that's for another night. We'll do that a different night. I was involved in an explosion in 1992 that damaged my back pretty bad. I'm going to tell you guys a story. We're not going to do it tonight. Let's see. It's 11:05 on the East Coast, 7:05 on the left coast. What's going on out there tonight? What we got going on? Put it in the chat room. I'm checking the chat room. And then I'm going to be getting off here pretty soon. Oh boy. All right, guys. I do appreciate everybody coming in tonight. It's been fun. Let's see what else we got going on here. So the Mamdani-backed liberal Zionist survives the New York primary tonight. So in other words, New York is electing people even further to the left than they were before. We're losing this country, guys. It's slipping towards communism every day. The appeals court has green-lighted Trump's expedited nationwide removal policy for illegal immigrants. That's awesome. That speeds things right back up again. That takes the wind out of the Democrats' sails. That's right where we need to be. We got to get these illegals out of here. Another win for Trump tonight. Trump scores major win in Congress as the House passes a crackdown on Wall Street investors. 24 conservatives voted no in protest over the Save America Act not being attached to the package. which is fine. We need to force this Save America Act through. It has to be forced through. This was a bipartisan vote. The measure will... It's the 21st Century Road to Housing Act, one of the most significant housing bills approved by Congress in decades. Largely incorporates Trump's proposal to ban large institutional investors from purchasing single-family homes, a measure designed to help individual buyers compete with private equity firms. I agree with that. I do. It can't be absolute, but I do agree with it. You can't have a corporation move into a small town and buy all the houses. And that's what's going on. And they're turning it into like rental communities and stuff. And they want housing to be owned by the individuals more so than owned by large conglomerates or corporations. Oh, wow, Deploribus. I haven't read about that one yet. I don't know. Believe it or not, I haven't even heard of a pipe bomb threat in Springfield, Virginia. I don't know anything about that, but I can put it in here real quick and see what we got. Springfield Town Center evacuated due to bomb threat. Officers evacuate the mall out of an abundance of caution after someone called in a threat on the internet. This was posted today at 5:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Springfield Town Center was evacuated Tuesday evening after someone called in a bomb threat. According to the Fairfax County Police, a person used an unknown number to report the threat. There's no word on who that person is or what exactly they said when they made the threat. Officers are on scene at Springfield Town Center for the reported bomb threat. They said on an X post, out of an abundance of caution, the mall has been completely evacuated. The mall is, according to the Virginia law, making a bomb threat is a Class 5 felony. However, if the suspect is younger than 18 years old, then they are guilty of a Class 1 misdemeanor. I don't know if I agree with that. So if your dad calls in the bomb threat, he does 5 years. If your kid calls in the bomb threat, he gets a ticket. All right, so there you go. But yeah, that's what it is. It was a bomb threat. It was not credible, is what they're saying. So there you go. This reflecting pool thing is bothering me. These liberals, these nasty socialist pigs, are out there every day trying to damage the reflecting pool that Donald Trump has fixed. And they've realized that this coating that he puts on there can be breached. And so what they're doing is they're going and they're trying to puncture holes in it and rip holes in it. They're throwing stuff in there. There's been 2 or 3 different people that they believe have dumped algae in there and dumped chemicals in there. They're doing everything they can to ruin our national mall. That's anti-American as it gets. And they think they're justified because they hate the bad orange man. And because they hate the bad orange man, they are completely justified to do whatever it is they want to do. And that's why I think it's important to remind everybody tonight that this segment of the show is brought to you by Trump and All. Yes, Trump and All, the #1 treatment for Trump derangement syndrome. Are you absolutely nuts every time you see the big bad orange man? Can you not handle watching elections without destroying your television? Does your family not speak to you anymore? Are you constantly yelling at your TikTok friends in your Prius sitting in front of your mama's house? You need Trumpanol. Trumpanol. It can fix everything that ails you. Love your country again. Become patriotic. Maybe even start a business. With Trumpanol, it makes you normal again, and you can get back to the family that loves you. That's right, Trumpanol. Fix that libtard shit that you've got going on in your head right now and quit being a nasty bitch. Get some Trumpanol today. Trumpanol, the #1 treatment for Trump derangement syndrome. This is weird not having my middle screen here. All right, I don't see anything else jumping out at me. A high school graduate just that was involved in a shooting a few days ago that killed 2 in a library, Rampage, says he was inspired by a shooting event that happened back in 1999. Isn't that awesome? Yes, Pangolangolier, that's correct. That's correct. These people hate Trump so bad that they'll literally deface their country. They'll deface their country's most important landmarks. They'll say the ugliest things. They'll do the ugliest things. They'll post the ugliest things. It's derangement syndrome. It truly is a problem. There's actually people talking, doctors, arguing, sitting around in rooms arguing whether Trump derangement syndrome is actually real or not. And of course, we know it is. We see it. Look, I couldn't stand Joe Biden, but there was no derangement syndrome. We weren't damaging reflecting pools. We weren't trying to cap his ass over and over and over and over. We weren't doing all this stuff. We weren't standing out protesting every day. We weren't vandalizing federal buildings. We weren't dressing up in inflatable costumes and jumping around like morons. I was grumpy when I started the show, but I feel pretty good now. You guys helped me out. You guys made me feel better. Yes, not only that, Pangolangolier, but guess what? You have to have ID to get in the Barack Obama Center. You have to have government picture ID to go into the Barack Obama Center. But those same people don't believe that you should have to be made to have ID to vote. Now, my question is to Barack Obama, you guys keep telling us that black people aren't smart enough to get IDs? Black people aren't proficient enough to get ID? I say bullshit. Black people are just as smart and just as capable as I am. I've had an ID since I was 15 years old. I don't buy it. But if it's true, let's say it's true for a minute, that like an inordinately high number of black people don't have IDs, which is not true. But let's say it's true. Who's going to visit him? Who's going to come visit his center? If ID truly is not important, like the left keeps telling us, oh, ID is not important. I mean, you're not cashing a check or buying booze or cigarettes or medical marijuana. You're not, you're not getting on a cruise ship or an airplane. Why would you need the ID? You're just voting. It's no big deal. Just voting. Just voting. I mean, that's the way they talk about it. And now, if you want to go into Nancy Pelosi's office, you need to show ID. If you want to go in Schmuck Schumer's office, you got to show ID. You want to go in the NBC building to be on Meet the Depressed or to Face the Nation or whatever, you have to show ID to get in the building. Isn't it amazing that you have to show ID to do anything except vote? Somehow, it's unfair to black people if we make voters ID. If I was black, I would be freaking offended by that. Well, thank you, Deploribus. All right, yeah, throw some likes on there, guys. I'm getting ready to sign off. I'd like to get a bunch on there. I do appreciate it. We're up to 500 views. Thank you, thank you. We're doing good tonight. I haven't heard any tornadoes or anything really bad coming in. There's been a few low-level tornadoes, and that was it. Let's see what we got here. Nope, no tornadoes right now. This whole complex is still moving southeast. This has moved out of the flood watch area. Let's see. There's the El Dorado cam. Right in front of this thing. It's coming through there right now. Very cool. I like these has cams. They're pretty good. And what's neat about the has cams, sometimes there's guys that will actually go and run them and actually follow the storm and stuff with them. It's pretty cool. The only reason you would not want to make people ID is if you're cheating. There is no other way. There's no other reason. There just isn't. All right, there we go. Hey, Victor, what's up? Yeah, you too, man. I have to admit, I did it. I went by Taco Bell again tonight. Guys, I've got a problem. I'm going to have to go to the TA meetings. Taco Bell Anonymous. I have to walk in there and say, hi, my name's Ian, and I'm addicted to Taco Bell. These enchiritos are the best. They're absolutely the best. I'm telling you. I went and bought 2 more of them tonight. That's 3 times in 6 days I've had 2 enchiritos. Do the math on that. Deploribus. There you go. Look, everybody knows the left has been faking these elections. Do you really think that they would be able to, have enough legitimate votes to beat out the honest, hardworking, normal people? All right, and the rain has arrived there at that camera in El Dorado. See, someone's moving that camera. These has cams, someone's able to dial into them and move them around, which is really cool. Oh, Nick Shirley's on Fox National right now. I like Nick Shirley. I'm sorry. He's a YouTuber like me, and he's become very successful by doing good work, and I love to see it. He's a really good kid. I love that guy. He's doing a good job, and I really support what he's doing. He's been working both in California and New York, fighting this Somali fraud and all this fraud. And they're on there right now talking about fraud. Oh no! Now we're talking about all the shootings over Juneteenth in Chicago. But yeah, I like when he's getting national airtime on Fox. Do you guys realize how high the ratings are on Fox? Do you know some nights Fox has more viewers than every other cable news station? There's not a single channel anywhere in the country that has as many viewers as Fox National. And I'm not talking just news. I'm talking all channels. They're beating network almost every night. They're beating primetime network. CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox. They're beating them. They're beating network programming. They're also, right now, they're getting 6 times the viewers during prime time than the Communist News Network or MSLSD or MS Now or whatever the hell it's called. It's absolutely amazing to see it happen. And we see it here locally too. My station, #1 station in the market. #1. We make more money than anybody. We get more viewers than anybody. We got over 100,000 people watching, listening to our show. And now we're on TV. Our numbers could double. Things are moving up. Why? Because people want conservative talk radio. That's what they want. And so we beat all the music stations. We beat all the other talk stations. We beat the sports stations. But you want to know what's really messed up? We beat stations that are at twice the height and 4 times the wattage on a cleaner frequency. We're beating stations that are putting out 4 times the wattage from twice the height. We're 25,000 watts. We're a 25,000 watt station. No one makes money like we do on a 25,000 watt station. And we broadcast from only 600 feet in the air. We're not a blowtorch. We've got a blowtorch. 96.9 is a blow. If you're anywhere in Central or South Florida, try 96.9. You'll probably get Wink FM. It's a blowtorch. 100,000 watts from 1,000 feet on the Lee-Charlotte County line. They're broadcasting up into Tampa. They're getting down into the Keys. And we beat them in the ratings because we're doing talk radio. Our footprint is 1/4 of the size. So it's kind of fun. It's neat. Talk radio is a powerful thing right now. And that's why we just got put on TV. And I told you guys that there was some other stuff going on. Well, there is. I'm reticent to give too much out, but I will tell you this. I'm moving. I'm moving where I'm sitting in the show. This is going to be very interesting. After producing the radio for 15 years, I'm moving into the host room, and I'm going to be sitting next to Trey now, and I'm going to be doing all the visual elements, and I will be on camera. I think it's amazing. I think it's really cool. They're leveraging my 15 years of experience and my wit, and they are allowing me to be on the radio more and to be more of a direct sidekick instead of the guy behind the glass. I'm now going to be I'm going to be his Robin, and he's Batman type of thing, where I'm his sidekick. I'm going to be sitting right next to him. I'm going to be doing all the visuals. I'm going to be switching the cameras. I'm basically going to do kind of the TV side, and then the producer, which we've hired another producer for our show. And Kat's going to be doing a lot of the producing, and they're going to be switching back and forth. But I'm going to be moving from my position. Now, what we're all going to be called, I don't know. I'm not a host. I'm not really even a co-host. I don't know what the name of the title or anything's going to be yet. I'm pretty much just probably still the producer of the show, I would guess. I've produced that show since it started 8 years ago. Every episode, unless I'm on vacation. Taking it very personally, and now that we're on TV, it's going very, very, very well. And I'm looking forward to this opportunity. It's going to be a neat opportunity for me. I don't want to say I'm nervous or scared or anything like that, but yeah, I mean, it gives me a little butterflies. I'm on here a lot, but I'm not on cable TV every day. I mean, this is on broadcast TV. I'm going to be on 46-1. I'm also on cable channel 6 here locally. And like I said, on air 46-1. So it's going to be really cool. And Trey and I's timing has gotten so good. And I think we both believe that if I move in there and I'm literally sitting next to him and we're both talking to the camera and I'm sitting right next to him where I can react to him, and I'm not as tied up with all the production bullshit with the show. I'm not making podcasts and putting in newscasts and updating weathers and checking clocks and doing all the things I have to do as a producer. If they move me in next to Trey and hire someone else to do my job, which is I'm training that person right now, then that's going to free up much of my time. All I'm going to be doing is visuals and being a companion to the host, basically. A co-host. I don't know what they're going to call it. I'm looking forward to it. 15 years. I haven't broke the talent ceiling. You guys hear of glass ceilings? Women used to have glass ceilings with management. Women used to find that no matter how good they did, they would never rise above lower management. And they call that a glass ceiling. There's kind of the same thing. And of course, by the way, that mostly doesn't happen anymore. But in broadcasting, there's a glass ceiling. And it's between production and talent. You can be the best producer in the building, but they won't use you as a fill-in host because you're production, you're not talent. It's kind of weird. It's a weird thing. And I'm hoping that Rob in the morning and myself in the afternoon are going to break through that mold. We're going to break through that. We're going to step onto the other side of the wall for the first time. We've got producers, 2 producers that were producing shows, moving in to sit in the host, in the co-host position. So I'm giddy. I'm excited. I went and bought $150 worth of collared shirts because all my shirts were wore out. Oh, goodness. Yep, I'm looking forward to it. I'm giddy. I think it's going to be fun. I look forward to working with Trey even more. Trey, I don't know if you guys have ever, I don't know how many of you have a wit or are, a funny person or things like that. I'm one of these people, even when I was a kid, I was always trying to make everybody laugh. I love making people laugh. I sit here and say stupid things, and I can hear you guys laughing. I know you thought it was funny, I hope. And I love that. And one of my goals on the show is to make Trey go off to the side and laugh. I know that's crazy, and I've told him this. This is not a secret. My goal on the show is to pull him off the show by making him laugh. If I can do that, I win. And I will say crazy things, and we go back and forth and making up names for stuff and everything else. And I will get him laughing so hard sometimes that he can't talk on the radio, and then I talk. And it's kind of a funny thing that I do. And then while he's laughing and can't talk, I'm like, what, can't talk on the radio? It's hilarious. We get this thing going. It's timing. You know, comedy lives at the intersection of uncomfortability and timing. It does. You got to say something that makes you a little uncomfortable, something that's true and a little uncomfortable, and you've got to deliver it with the right timing. And when you have two people and they're doing it back and forth, and you can start delivering things with the perfect timing, people notice. It makes a difference. It's entertaining. So I'm glad. So I'll eventually pull a piece of that so you guys can see it, what it looks like on TV. They put in a nice bookshelf today with some books and cups and stuff on it. It was pretty cool. Boy, they're getting a real hell of a storm there in El Dorado. I try to, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Probably in about a week or two, I'll be in there with him. I'm still producing right now out on the outside of the room, but probably within the next week or two, I will be no longer producing the show. I'll be, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I don't know. They haven't, see, my work's not like a government organization. We don't have to have like an SOP and all that. We're literally developing this as we go. And this is something the consultant said, hey, it would be better if you had these two funny producers in there working with your guy, you know. And we could get some other people, and we're doing really good. So they're willing to do that for us. So that's awesome. All right, guys. Last call for the chat room. It's 11:34. I've been on for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I do want to thank everybody for being here. It's been a great show tonight. I did 3.5 hours last night. Boy, that's a hell of a lightning storm they've got going on in El Dorado. Oh boy, I'm yawning now. I'm done. I've already ate my dinner. Probably gonna just go to bed. I like to sit here and relax for like 20, 30 minutes after a show, but a lot of times I just shut it down and I go do that inside before I go to bed. I lay in there. I got a couple kitties in the house, and they don't get as much time to see me as some of the other cats. So I like to go in and spend an hour or so with them before I go to bed. They both lay with me, and I pet them, and Ed too, the three of them. I got to bring Littles out. I want you guys to see Littles. He's a cute little thing, little fat thing. He was the runt in that litter. We got all the other ones adopted out, but we kept him. And that was that litter that my stepson found under a dumpster. He found a bunch of kittens. And the mother was dead. The mother had been killed by a predator. And she was obviously trying to defend her kittens. And we took those kittens and we raised all of them. And they all got good homes. I think it was 4 of them total, 4 of them. 3 of them got great homes, and the 4th one has a great home here. But I'm afraid to let him out. So he lives in the house. Him and Teddy live in the house. But they're getting old enough. I need to start letting them out some. I don't want to lose them. I had a few kittens a long time ago that we raised them up to 1 year, and then we let them out, and they were both killed by cars within a month. And I'm like, I'm never doing that again. I can't go through this again. And so now I've kept them in there for 2 years because I just can't let them out. But they got the house. You know, I let them out in the whole house quite a bit. And they've got they live in my room there. They got food, water, litter box. They got windows to look out. I leave the TV on for them. And I'm in there, all day long. I'm in and out of there. And then, of course, I sleep in there. I hang out with them. But I still sometimes feel like I wish I could provide them with a little more stimulation. Yeah, I love my kitties. I got lots of good cats, including Mom Kitty. Where did all my screens go? all my screens like just totally disappeared. So all of our storm chasers are gone. I am glad I was able to figure out how to fix that, so that that woman would stop coming up every time a video goes off. Because I'm talking to you guys, I'm not paying attention, and it would just start playing some bullshit. And so I'm so glad it's not doing that anymore. I'll tell you guys how I did it if you're interested. It's what you got to do. When you're in OBS Studio and you're in your browser, you know, you got a browser screen up, right click on that screen, over on the left side on the preview, right click on the screen and then click interact. And it will actually bring up a screen where you can go in and interact on the screen, and you can tell it to not autoplay. That's all I had to do. You can also sign it in as your account, where before I wasn't signed in as any account. That's why I was getting this weird woman coming up every time. Now I'm signed in as StarShip Adventures. So, but I was able to fix all that. And you can go in and manipulate your browser windows by right-click transform. All right, let's see what else we got. Last call, guys, for the chat room. I'm just about done here. Yeah, your dog liked to watch Johnny Quest. I like it. All right, everybody. I hope you have a good night out there. I hope we have a safe tomorrow. I'll be back. Boy, this thing got all messed up. I don't know what happened. The screens all disappeared on me. And then when they came back up, half of them aren't working. So I don't even know what's going on. I guess it doesn't matter because we're done here anyway. There's that back. Wow, that's weird. And I bet if I hit this, the clock will come back. Yep, there we go. All right, it's slowly coming back up here. I got to figure out what's wrong with this video card in the morning. I got to tear this shit apart in the morning and figure out why my video card, I got three slots that are working and one that's not. What's up, Mama? What's up? What? They freeze and they look at you like they're waiting. Like, what are you going to tell me? What? And then when I tell them, they like don't understand. Poor kitties. All right. All right, guys. It's been my pleasure. I'm glad you guys were all in tonight. We're going to see you guys tomorrow night on the Sights and Sounds of Earth. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Listen, I'll be back tomorrow. Regular schedule this week. Regular schedule this weekend. I don't know of anything different. So if there's any difference, check the community page. If you come in at 9 o'clock and I'm not on, check the community page for StarShip Adventures, the posts tab, and I will put there if I'm not going to be on. All right. I'm very good about, even that one night I was really in bad shape, I managed to type on there, I will not be in tonight, and I did enter. So I've been trying every night that I'm not on to do that. I took 3 nights off with this tooth. That's the most I've taken off since I started this show. So all right. So yeah, everybody have a good night out there and a pleasant tomorrow. My name's Ian. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth right here on StarShip Adventures. And we'll be back tonight at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, or anytime breaking news happens. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for our Wednesday night show. Have a good night, everybody. 7 threes. That's right. 7 threes. Which is ham radio talk for have a good night. This is the YouTube channel StarShip Adventures, broadcasting live from StarShip Studios in North Fort Myers, Florida, in the United States of America. We thank you for joining us this evening for another broadcast of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, covering every breaking news story across this troubled planet of ours. We brought you the raw, unfiltered pulse of the world in real time through our unique multi-screen format, broadcasting in high definition worldwide via fiber optic connection. StarShip Adventures, a new kind of YouTube content. To our regular viewers, our loyal crew members, our amazing moderators, and everyone who tunes in each night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we thank you. Your support keeps this independent voice alive and well. We'll be back tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern with another live edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, right here on StarShip Adventures. Until then, stay safe, stay informed, and may God bless you and these United States of America. This is StarShip Adventures, and this concludes our broadcast day. Good night, America, and around the world. Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Foxtrot Sierra, signing off. QSY, 7-3s, everyone, 7-3s.